Good afternoon. First of all, I want to start out right away as I'm not an expert, biology teacher, environmental individual that just has spent most of my lifetime in the Bay Area and working on native habitats. So a passionate group of environmental volunteers successfully returned native California plants to Silicon Valley. UNIREP is our nonprofit now that we have, and our work days are first Saturday and third Sunday if you're around here. We'll see you quick. So 2001, 40-acre golf course back in the 1980s, Fairway Glen in the city of Santa Clara. Very mismanaged and just overrun with Bermuda grass and eucalyptus trees. So that 2001, got students out there and volunteers, and we got okay from the city of Santa Clara to start a butterfly garden. That's 2014. So let's go back, look at that now. 2001, 2014, same place. These are native California plants, and we'll discuss that a little further as we go. We also had started Oak Savannah in 2012, Santa Clara Valley Water District grant. 90% non-native grasses out there in 2012, and this is 2014. Just remarkable in 2 years what we've done. It's all volunteers. Riparian waterway, put in a 280-foot long riparian waterway, ending in a pond. It was going to be a vernal pond, but we changed it to a pond. 2012, and this is in 2014. Okay. Wow, isn't that kind of a nice change in 2 years? And a pond, Eagle Scout project, was built a pond. Teenagers love to dig. And after the pond, 2014, this is in the winter time, just now. So we have developed an oasis of native California plants and then actually now animals in the city of Santa Clara, Ostack Natural Area. Ostack, we have a nonprofit now, 1 year, and we're in our infancy. Ostack Natural Area Restoration and Education Project, because I'm an educator. So the first thing we're going to restore it. So where are we going to restore it to? If you're a third grader, I used to say, "There's me," you know, with the Columbian mammoth that was found actually just a half a mile. A fossil was found at this a half a mile from Ostack about 8 years ago. So she restored back to the Pleistocene 10,000 years ago. This is actually downtown San Jose. It's a photograph, not a photograph, but a painting of 10,000 years ago, downtown San Jose. Right there, and this is what it looks like now. So now we're in the Anthropocene. I guess that's the new magic word to use that. But prior to that, it was, and then it was an Indian village, right along the Guadalupe River. The Anza came through there in 1776 in Pedro Font's journal. He identified meeting 3 villages of Indians right at that area, right there. Okay? And that's where Ostack is now. And then 1888, we now see the city of San Jose, Santa Clara, and the meandering Guadalupe River. Ostack is right there, that square that section. And Ostack today, right there, this is Ostack. The north end is a federally mitigated wetland, so that no one can touch that now. Here is the channelized Guadalupe River, and there's an inside of a computer, otherwise known as Cisco. Doesn't that look like that? Looks like the same. And we're surrounded by concrete, apartments and such. And then right over here, right off the thing there, is the new 49er Levi Stadium. So this is an oasis right in the middle of a concrete jungle. So we kickstarted with many grants. One of the largest now was the $106,000 Santa Clara Valley Water District. And this was just written by volunteers. And we're trying to get $300,000 that Santa Clara Open Space Authority has identified for the city of Santa Clara for open space. It hasn't been released yet. concern. So anyway, so restoration, that's our big thing, that's what we're doing. We have to consider the abiotic factors. Climate's changing. The terroir, if you're growing grapes, you know about terroir is important. And that's important for native plants also. Water table variability. Remember the channelized river now. Sediment, soil, clay, used to flood, but no longer floods, okay, in this area. And the soil profile, they piled a bunch of dirt from streets through there, so it's not the same pure profile. Rainfall has changed, and the variability of that. And then the nutrients in the soil, all abiotic factors that we kind of consider, and this conflicting of what should be there and what should not be there. And it's quite challenging. So potential climate factors, we're finding out that acorns collected from 150 miles south of Santa Clara, and Paso Robles, and actually Channel Islands are the plants, but the acorns of Ullestack thrive when planted at Ullestack. And then also Island Mallow, St. Catherine's Lakes, Catalina Cherry, well, originally I guess identified at Channel Islands, thrive at their native plants, but that's the south. So there could be climate change, and those island ones were originally, I'm sure, found on the mainland of California. And then I have a 4 inches of rain theory. So southern climate change changing. As the year 2000, we planted 51-gallon plants, natives, and we watered by hand, recycled water, by the way, and most of them died. 2001, we removed bristly oxtongue that grew where we had planted, unbelievable amount. And we watered again. This time we mulched a little bit more, and we cardboarded and mulched, and they're thriving. The butterfly garden exploded with growth. And so we were really proud of ourselves. And we'll find out what I think it was in 2002, 3, 4, and 5, there was, look at precipitation rates for San Jose. There was 4 inches of rain in either December or January. And I think that's a critical thing that maybe I'd like to see someone do some research on. 4 inches of water, 3 2,000 square foot sections at Ullestack were hydroseeded with Nacella pulchra by Hetch Hetchy, because Hetch Hetchy pipes go through there, so there were sections that they had worked on, so they hydroseeded it with Nacella. 2 sections showed little or no growth, but a 3rd section thrived with pure stands of Nacella with very few invasives, and then right there behind it. Oh, this came up, bam. I asked them, what did they do different? They did nothing different except one thing, is this area here, this was flooded. The middle section here was flooded with Hetch Hetchy water, because they had to drain a pipe one day, and they said, oh, where should we put it? I said, how about right there on top of your head? So it was flooded, the cellar grew unbelievably. Wow. Okay. So we planted 6,000 grass plugs of alpine ryegrass, trichoides, Lisman trichoides, and a little bit of purple needlegrass, and this was 20,000 square foot, 6,000 grass plugs. We had a group of volunteer Buddhists who came, put those all in for 2 or 3 days, and it was starting to grow, but it didn't grow very prolifically for the first month. And then I went out there, tried to water by hand, 20,000 acres with this 1 week, it didn't work. So I just put a sprinkler on and left it for days, just days. The sprinkler broke, and the area that it broke and flooded, and actually flooded the area, the grass, the Lismus trichoides grew taller, and it's probably quite significant. So this is sort of all anecdotal, but it's checking out. I think something's happening. Other abiotic factors, meandering Guadalupe that floods surrounding area every year, is now channelized. Levee built in the 1940s, it was somewhat higher, then they built it in 1998, even higher. There's a decrease in water table, and no longer is there any sediment from the floodplain coming in. It's no longer a floodplain. Okay. So we did some hardcore data with high school students, and it hasn't been analyzed about the nutrients and acorn growth. And we have it from 2006, and there's no conclusion because I can't figure this out yet. I haven't learned how to do it. So we're looking for people to do that. Techniques, continuing success, cardboard, and mulch. And that's really important. You see these hard workers that day, they're rolling out cardboard to prevent and inhibit the growth of perennial pepperweed and bristly oxtongue and other invasive species. And then we put mulch in, 4 inches of mulch. We use recycled water. Recycled water has been fantastic for us, okay, for everything. Sunflower has reduced, and don't worry about 80%. I've heard that's wrong, but it's been reduced. It's much better than it was 5 years ago. Recycled water, previous data indicated too high in salts, but it's everything we've done there was recycled water. It's kind of nice because we don't have to worry about it. The city of Santa Clara pays for it. They don't know how much we're using, so which is kind of nice. So our data's here. 2 native plant nurseries, Santa Margarita and Escondido. Bert Nelson, a great person. He planted a rock next to, he states, plant a rock next to all your young natives. So we do that. We plant a rock next to it. We plant species only if it is compatible to the local micro heights of the flora. And Bert knew that. So when we purchased plants from him, he would identify what should be. Grow the plant in soil that will make it thrive. Don't enhance the soil. And I like to, and best online is, I think, lostbelievers.com is kind of nice. And, okay. So Gabby's going to go come up one more. So success and return of native fauna to Ostack natural area. Over 130 different species. The eBird has identified 130 different species of birds nesting: quail, orioles, bluebirds, flickers, hawks, California thrashers, hummingbirds. Mammals have returned, and butterflies, monarchs, pygmy blues. We did alchemy, saltbush. It's really doing great. And I'd like to introduce Gabrielle Trudeau, who's my partner in this, and she's going to finish up.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I help run the nonprofit, and I've been volunteering at Stack for 10 years now. So some of the things that we started with when we first started about 10 years, well, we started in 2000, so it's been about 15, so I joined a little late. But we would buy plants from 1-gallon pots from local nurseries that grew, like Las Palitas, what he's mentioning. They grew native species, and then we would collect acorns from the local neighborhoods and the local watershed. We would just ask people to bring in acorns and like a branch with a couple leaves so we could make sure to identify it as a native species. Then also, that's how we did it in the first 10 years. But now that all the plants are grown and mature, we're going to start seed collecting, which is how we got all the milkweed population to grow. It was a giant Girl Scout project, and we had them take a bunch of them home, grow their own plants, and then bring about 10 back each, and then we planted them all over. We got monarchs this year. We're also going to start doing cuttings, which is how we became, we found our city forest just started a nursery. They're a local tree nursery, but they started growing shrubs because they came to Stack to collect cuttings. They would take them back, grow them for us, and sell them back to us at a fraction of the price. So that's how we developed a partnership with them. And so now we just dedicate our time to buying more diverse species, and then we're going to start taking cuttings ourselves. Also through divisions, we do divisions of like Salvia spatacea and other grasses that are easy to divide to help maintain restoration costs low, and also that way we can just keep propagating the plants throughout the park. Just a reminder, it's 40 acres, so there's still a lot of work to be done. There's only about 2 acres of it that's been successfully restored. And we're probably going to start our own little nursery to continue doing that, since it's an all-volunteer run organization. So just to repeat some of the successes that we've experienced, we have butterfly garden of native shrubs that's self-sustaining. We have a 280-foot long riparian stream, a pond, an oak woodland and shrubs, an oak savanna, and we have over 200 young oaks and other patches of native grasses, and the return of a vernal pond. So this is all that is found in the park, which is only 5 miles north of here, if anyone's interested. So on that note, we invite people to go visit the park. The park is owned by the city of Santa Clara, so let them know how much you appreciate the habitat that they can demonstrate there. Also, we would love to have anyone that would like to do some scientific research, because we would like to document our successes. Like Dennis said, most of it is just anecdotal, and it's just what we record and maybe talk about or maybe journal about the successes, but we don't have any scientific data. So please come out. And I think that's it. If you would like to get in touch with us, our website is yulestack.org. Just go to the contact us page, or you can email Dennis directly, and this is just our mission statement for our nonprofit is to return native California plants to Stack, remove invasive species, build a creek and vernal pond, provide a home for native butterflies and birds, and develop an indigenous people's garden, since he mentioned that it used to be 3 Ohlone villages on the 40 acres of land in the past. And then also we have restoration sessions all year round, first Saturday, third Sunday of the month in the mornings. Yeah.
There's time for one question.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.